Hey guys, this is Communications, and welcome to my review of Lover's Lane. Now, I watched this on Valentine's Day night. I was planning on uploading this review last night, but the movie was so shitty, I had to sleep on it in order to get my thoughts straight. So that's why you're seeing the review of the film now. Now, Lover's Lane, according to Wikipedia, it's a 1999 film, but I believe it was actually a 2000 film because it says 2000 on the back of this VHS. Now, this movie is a pretty lame film. It's directed by John Ward, who also and it's written and produced by Rory Veal and Geoff Miller. It's stars Erin J. Dean, Sarah Lancaster, Riley Smith, Anna Farris before her role in Scary Movie, and has songs by Christian Davis. Now the songs themselves, the music is okay. Some of the songs they use in the film are not that bad, and honestly, the performances by the cast are not really. I mean, some of them are pretty bad. I mean, the Sheriff Tom Anderson, played by Matt Riedy. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for prime time. He really wasn't. Because like in the beginning, his acting when he finds out his wife is dead is atrocious. He's like, "Oh, oh, oh my God! Ah! Oh my God! Ah!" It's really bad. It's really, really, really bad performance. But it gets a little bit better as the film goes along, but at best it's just he's a poor man's Lance Henriksen. Now, Erin J. Dean plays Mandy Anderson as well as Harriet Anderson, so I guess she plays the. She also, wow, so she played her. That's a weird casting. So she played two roles: the daughter of Sheriff Tom Anderson and his wife, who passed away, who was murdered. Interesting. Definitely low budget because they had to have her play both roles. Sarah Lancaster as Chloe Greff. She's hot. That's all I gotta say. She's hot. And it's a real shame that the director decided to shoot what looks like he shot. It looks like he shot the scene where she's in a car stripping with this one guy. It looks like that he shot the scene through a screen door or something. It is a terrible looking sequence. She's taking her top off and dude's playing with her tits, but you don't see barely. You see barely anything. It looks terrible. It looks like it was just slightly, the guy put the movie into Windows Movie Maker and put on the sepia tone. It looks really bad. And it's too bad, too, because she's hot. I was like, I wanted to see that in not shit vision. That would be nice. Um, Riley Smith plays Michael Lamson. He was alright. Sarah Lancaster, hot. Not decent actress too. I mean, not the best in the world, but she was all right. Anna Faris, I liked. Actually, I liked her character, Janelle Bay. She played pretty much a cheerleader, which is kind of surprising, but she pulled it off. Billy O'Sullivan plays Doug. Matt Riedy is Tom Sheriff Tom Anderson. Suzanne Bouchard is Principal Penny Lamson. She was there. Richard Sanders plays Dr. Jack Greff, who's there, I guess. Megan Hunt plays Kathy. Colin F. Peacock plays Tim. Ben Indra plays Bradley. And Ed Bailey plays Ray Hennessy, who's supposed to be this hook killer. Now, the film, I believe, is loosely based on an urban legend, with the hook hand killer. But if you want to see a film that deals with a hook hand killer and does a better job with it, check out I Know What You Did Last Summer. Or even I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Even as lame as some of those movies can be at points, they're still better than this. This is just a really lame, forgettable slasher. It was barely watchable for me because of the cast, and because I thought they were pretty likable characters, and I thought the performances were pretty decent. And the direction itself is competent. The director knows what he's doing. It's not like the director has no idea what the hell he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to set up shots. He knows how to direct a film, but what he's given is basically shit to work with. He's given a screenplay that leaves no room for any kind of fun or any kind of good gore. it just is very tame. There's really wimpy kills in this movie. There's one where a guy just ends up he looks out a window and the killer grabs him, but you don't see anything. You just hear the guy going, ah, 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 and then hear like squelching noises or something, and then a little bit of blood drips down, and that's it. And he's dead. I was like, that's a cheap kill. That's a really cheap kill. And don't give me this bullshit, oh, it was a low budget. Evil Dead was made for a really low budget, and that film had a lot of effects. I mean, I've seen a lot of low budget slasher films that have gore and have blood and do the kills effectively. This doesn't have that. And when the hook hand killer showed up at first, I thought it was Captain Hook. That's literally at the beginning of the movie. These people are having sex, and then the hook hand killer comes up and he starts scraping the window with his hook, and I'm like, my God, Hook is back! Hook is back! He's back for the dead. But anyway, the hook hand killer kills these two people, not much, and then the sheriff, the actor, he delivers this really terrible performance, or is this little Matt Riedy? He's like, oh my God, ah! But anyway, the film opens up 13 years ago on Valentine's Day at the local Lover's Lane, where Dee Dee, played by Deidre Kilgore, and Jimmy, played by Carter Roy, are making out in their car when a maniac wielding a steel hook attacks them. So I'm wrong about her playing this same role. Sorry, my bad. But the pair then escape the car and find another... Actually, I am right. Harriet and Ward. Harriet, played by the same actress who plays her daughter. Really weird. The pair then escape the car and find another couple, Harriet and Ward, slaughtered in the car next to theirs. Soon after, psychiatrist Jack Greff, played by Richard Sanders, arrives, along with Sheriff Tom Anderson, who is distraught to find his wife Harriet is one of the lovers who has been murdered. He doesn't pull it off because it just his acting is so terrible that it's laughable. The killer, Ray Hennessy, played by Ed Bailey, is caught and then revealed to be one of Jack's patients who had an obsession with Harriet. Ray is incarcerated in a nearby state institution for the criminally insane and gains the nickname The Hook. Then we flash forward to present day. We didn't even know what 13 years ago was because I guess it was supposed to be present day, but I think it was present day 2000, year 2000, so it's supposed to be 13 years before the year 2000, but they didn't make that very obvious. So in present day, Jack's popular daughter Chloe, played by Sarah Lancaster, and Tom's socially awkward daughter Mandy, played by Erin J. Dean, attend the local high school together. During a class, Chloe hears that her boyfriend Michael Riley Smith, who is played by Riley Smith, is planning to break up with her, which really is not how it happened. His asshole friend pretty much just told her he broke up with her. That's it. He had a conversation with her earlier, and because he was asking her if she was going to go to a party with him, and she was not interested. But he was all like, "Well, man, I really need to break up with this chick." But he didn't break up with her then. He didn't. The film shows it right off the bat. It shows it as plain as day, clear as day. The film shows that he didn't actually break up with her. But then his friend comes in and says that he broke up with her because he wants to get in her pants. And so she assumes that that's true, and she tackles Michael and dunks him into the pool and starts strangling him. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. He's like, she's got some anger issues. It's kind of a crazy bitch. And I'm just a crazy lady. Sorry, excuse my French, but we're just throwing that out there. But she is pretty crazy. So he's strangling him, and then he and Chloe, they get reprimanded by his mom, who's the principal, and they get suspended. And I'm like, why did he get suspended? Why did he get suspended for getting attacked by Chloe? Why is he the one that gets any suspension for that? He was just standing there minding his own business near the pool until this crazy lady comes in and yells at him and like, nobody breaks up with me! Ugh! The freaking gang tackles his ass into the pool and starts strangling him. He fought back because he had to, otherwise she was going to kill him. If anything, she should be arrested for attempted murder. But that's not what happens because she's the sweetheart, school sweetheart, and the daughter of the psychiatrist, which I still don't get why she got away with that and why Michael got suspended, but that's what happened. So then Michael's grounded by his mother, Principal Penny, and soon after, the Hook retrieves his weapon and escapes a mental institution. And he leaves For some reason, I don't know why this movie thought that this was funny. It's just stupid. I looked at this and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. What happened is that after he escapes, written in blood on the wall is the words, "Prison food sucks." I'm not making that shit up. That shit's so stupid, there's no possible way I can make that shit up. Prison food sucks. And then that gag is repeated later in the film. But it's not funny. It's just stupid. I mean, prison food sucks. Just like this movie. It sucks. Prison food sucks. So anyway, so stupid. So the Hook escapes, leaves his calling card of prison food sucks, and then upon hearing this news, Sheriff Tom warns Penny, as her husband has been having an affair with Harriet and had been murdered along with her. Later that night, Michael sneaks out of his room to meet his friends, including Chloe, Mandy, and Bradley, played by Ben and Indra, cheerleader Janelle, played by Anna Farris, and Joker Doug, played by Billy O'Sullivan, and couple Kathy, Megan Hunt, and Tim, played by Colin F. Peacock, at the bowling alley. Also there is Deputy David Schwick, played by Michael Shapiro, whom Sheriff Tom has put in charge of keeping Chloe and Mandy safe. After a while, Chloe, in an attempt to make Michael jealous, leaves with Bradley to go to Lover's Lane. As the pair travel in their car, Chloe enters a store, not realizing the owner is swiftly murdered as she departs. That's not much of anything, just like any kills in this movie. They're lame, tame, and really, really bad. Deputy David then also enters the shop, only to be stabbed to death in lame fashion. Meanwhile, Penny discovers Michael is missing and alerts Sheriff Tom. After some time, Mandy, Michael, Janelle, and Doug, and Kathy and Tim arrive at Lover's Lane. The group find Bradley's car, only to discover he and Chloe have been murdered before the Hook arrives and stabs Tim to death. As the others try to escape in their car, Doug crashes into a tree, knocking everyone unconscious because he's a fucking dumbass. Literally, they're so scared. I'm like, we gotta go, because the Hook killer's coming after them, and they get in the car, they drive away, and even everybody in the passenger seat, and everybody else in the car is telling Doug, slow down, and he's like, slow down, derp, and then right into a fucking tree. Like, and he breaks his leg for that. And they have to carry his dumb ass around. I'm like, God, if you just listened to their advice, dumbass, you wouldn't have ran into the fucking tree. Knocks everybody unconscious. Sometime later, Mandy and Michael wake up to find the others gone. They travel to a nearby farmhouse where they arm themselves with a gun and find Janelle and Doug, who has broken his leg. They do nothing with the gun. In fact, they waste their ammo, shoot at what they thought was the killer, but it happens to be a pig, and they waste their last shell. And Mandy and Michael then, Janelle tends to Doug's injury, and Mandy and Michael go to the barn to retrieve the missing owner's car. And actually what happens is they treat his injury where Mandy comes with this idea, it's like, distract him, I need to reset his bone, reset his leg. And it's like, and Anna Farris is doing a terrible job. She's like, well, what's your favorite teacher? He's like, what the fuck? And there's like, do something. I don't know what to do. Distract him. And she just lifts her top up. You don't actually see her tits. You just see her top go up. And then he's like, whoa. And then reset his leg. And then he passes out. So there were some moments in this film that I didn't mind. Like I said, the performances, the cast. I cared about the characters for the most part. But the film squanders these good characters with shitty kills, bad pacing, and some really stupid plot points, which I'll get into later. But anyway, so after he gets his leg reset, passes out, Mandy and Michael go to the barn to retrieve the missing owner's car. Back inside, Janelle begins to hear noises before the Hook smashes through a window, and Janelle runs upstairs and barricades herself in a room, but the Hook gets in and stabs her to death through her cooch. Yep. She's all like, scared, and Anna Farris is holding a pillow, hugging it for dear life, and then the Hook comes out from underneath the bed, and you don't really see it stab her in the crotch, but it's definitely insinuated, because it comes up from underneath the bed, and looks from basically between her legs, and she starts going, It's like the Hook fingers her to death. Anna Faris gets fingered to death in this movie. Then the Hook then also kills Doug in a lame way. He just stabs him in the legs. So I'm like, does that really kill him? Is this really enough to kill him? He takes 2 steak knives and stabs him into his legs. Is that really enough to kill him? I would think he would still be alive after that. I mean, maybe might bleed out eventually, but unless he hit him right into the veins, in the legs that give, where there's a lot of blood that comes out. If he didn't do that, then just basically incapacitated him so he can't move. Didn't really kill him. It's a lame either way. So in the barn, Michael and Mandy manage to get the car started, but however, as Michael begins to drive, he accidentally runs over Kathy, killing her, which is just kind of dumb. Then the pair re-enter the house and find Doug and Janelle dead before the Hook attacks them. They lock themselves up in the kitchen, and I actually like the Hook attacks them, and I like how Michael takes a golf club and he hits the Hook right in the face, sends him out the door, and he's like, "Line drive, bitch!" So there were some moments, and I had some fun lines of dialogue I didn't mind. So he hits him, knocks him out the door, but he comes back, and he comes back in, but he ends up locking him he locks himself in the kitchen. He turns the gas on, sets up a clever trap with a match underneath the door, and escapes out the window. The Hook opens the door, the match is sparked, and the house blows up. And then he says, like, he's like, "Burn in hell, motherfucker!" And because he's the guy who killed his dad. But then Sheriff Tom and Penny go back to Jack's house where they find a shrine devoted to Mandy before rushing to the Lover's Lane. At the farmhouse, Michael and Mandy make the owner's car. They take the owner's car. They don't really make the owner's car. They take it and begin to travel into town. On the way, they find Chloe still alive, because there was some pretty good makeup on her part, who urges them to return to Lover's Lane as Bradley, because Bradley's also alive, which I forgot to mention in the sex scene with her and Bradley. She pretty much tells him, it's like, you fuck me, or I'll kill you, you fucking faggot. Pretty much it's like, fuck me, you fucking faggot, or I'll kill you. That's really what she says. That's a real line of dialogue in this movie. Fuck me, you fucking faggot, or I'll kill you. Man, this chick is hardcore. But there's a lot of clues that Chloe is batshit insane. That's one of them. Her trying to murder her former boyfriend and drown him to death because she heard from her friend that he broke up with her without actually confirming the fact with her boyfriend. She's a little bit Looney Tunes. Just saying that you better fuck me or I will kill you. That's also proof that she's insane in the membrane. So when you find out, spoiler, when you find out that Chloe is actually one of the killer, she killed Bradley, and she shows up with a hook and tries to kill Michael, but he takes a cigarette lighter from the car and burns her in the face. And I like how she looks at herself in the mirror there. It's like, my yearbook photos. But anyway, so she's a killer. Michael escapes, though, kicks her ass. But as Chloe exits, she gets slaughtered by another killer with a hook with a burn-up face. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I thought she was a killer, which wasn't very unpredictable. I kind of thought that the case before she even showed up with a hook on her hand. And then there's another guy shows up with a hook. Is that the guy who escaped from the asylum? And then you find out there's not only 2 killers, there's 3, because her dad was in on it, the psychiatrist. And he tries to attack, Mandy, and she takes the mask off, and the psychiatrist, and somehow he survived that explosion. It was a pretty big-ass explosion, and he's a fat, out-of-shape guy. There's no way in hell he got out of the way. He was right there. He opened the door. The oven exploded. The dude is dead. He's dead. I don't buy this bullshit. He shows up later and he's just burnt up. His face is burnt. No, he's fucking dead. He's not a cartoon character. Is he a Looney Tune? No, he's not. He's not Wile E. Coyote. This motherfucker is dead. But he shows up, he's still alive, and he still ends up dying because Chloe attacks him. Because Chloe's dead. But Mandy attacks him with a hook. and kills him. It's not much. He just stabs him in the back, and he gets shot a few times by Tom. And then the film has this bullshit ending, which just sums up this bullshit movie where Mandy and Michael are in the ambulance getting checked on, and for some reason they leave the ambulance and they're put in a police car. I don't know why they have to leave the ambulance. It's pretty safe. I've never heard of that before, where somebody is getting checked on and treated in an ambulance. And they're usually taken to the hospital. They're not just taken away out of the ambulance into a patrol car. That's what happened. And then the driver dumps out his coffee for some reason, and then you find out it's the Hook. The real Hook killer, I guess, because yeah, we gotta end the movie like that, where fucking stupid sequel bait, shitty ending. There'll never be a sequel to this, and we gotta basically ruin any goodwill that we had for the film. I like those characters. I wanted to see them make it out alive. They did. No, they didn't, because the Hook's gonna fucking slaughter them because he just is driving, because he gave them a ride at the end of the movie. Fuck this piece of shit. You know what? Hey, Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane. Line drive, bitch! Anyway, yeah, fucking piece of shit movie. I really don't know what else to say about Lover's Lane, except it sucked. It's a lame slasher film. It only had, in any goodwill that it had, it fucking pissed away with that shitty ending. And it's got likable characters, but like I said, pisses it away with that shitty ending. It's not even a good slasher film because there's no kills that are worth mentioning at all. It's not suspenseful, it's not exciting, it's boring, it's lame, it's tame, and it's bullshit. So I really don't know what else to say about Lover's Lane, except it was rated out of 5 stars. It gives 1 star for the cast and some of the performances and some lines of dialogue that I liked. But other than that, this movie is a piece of shit. So thank you for watching my rant on Lover's Lane, and just more of a piece of shit because it fucking hurt my hand. Fucking piece of how dare you do that, Lover's Lane? Anyway, thank you for watching my rant on Lover's Lane, and I will see you guys later. See ya.